Go ahead, help yourself.
Me?
Sure. Drink hearty. How'd you like another?
I'd appreciate it.
Well, let's talk first. Could you use a job?
Me?
I could use a good man.
Look, I ain't what I look like. No crooked stuff, that's out.
Oh, you got me all wrong. I've been sizing you up. I've been watching you in it before.
So?
I like it. I got a job for you. How'd you like to be a nurse?
A what?
I run a home. It's a private institution, a sort of a rest home, and with a little training, you'd make a good nurse.
What's the pay?
$20 a week, cash. Your meals. If you get hungry, I mean. And all the stuff you can drink.
What kind of a home is this?
I told you. A rest home. A rest home for alcoholics. You'll make a great nurse. Have a drink on it.
The stories that shock a nation, move them, make them laugh, begin here. Like this one. I'm Paul Stewart. Tragedy and death by violence are part of the daily routine of every good reporter. Some take it as a story to be written, leave it in the newsroom at night, and others bring it home, worry it, try to make something good out of evil. Paul Quick of the Columbus Citizen is one of these men, and the story he couldn't forget came out of an old-fashioned house on the quiet back street in Columbus, Ohio. They called it a rest home for alcoholics. It was a house of murder. They're ready. They're rolling. The presses are rolling on Deadline.
I just came from the morgue. I've seen some ghastly things in my time, but I think I'd rather see a shooting than something like this. That man died in a so-called rest home for alcoholics. He was supposed to be cured. He was killed.
Sit down, Paul.
No, thanks, Walter. I'm worked up about this. You gonna do an autopsy of this, Walter?
If we can get permission.
Permission? 5 men died in that home in the last 9 weeks. Did you see that man's arm? They were giving him injections of some kind.
We know, Paul.
Okay. You know about Sidney Ellis, the owner? He just finished serving a year for peddling narcotics.
We know that, too. And so does the district attorney's office.
And why doesn't somebody move in? Why is a man like that allowed to run a rest home for alcoholics? How did he get a license?
This is the health department, Paul. We inspect premises and we issue licenses. But we haven't got a dime's worth of authority to close the place.
Walter, that man is a monster. You know how he gets nurses for that place? He picks up drunks in a bar on 10th Street. He offers them free drinks and a place to sleep. That's the way he gets nurses.
Paul, how do you prove any of this? With what we've got, all we can do is find him on a minor violation.
Suppose you could show that those patients of his didn't die of heart attacks, but it was negligence or drugs.
Then you might have a case.
Okay. Does your department have any complaints about the place?
Only one from a woman.
What's her name?
Her name is Vera Collins, 1919 North Street. Her complaint said they're holding her husband against her will. These people clam up when they're pressed. No one likes to give out the fact that their husband or brother or father is a drunk.
1919 North Street. We'll see.
That's all they'd say. Your husband is resting now. He's quite comfortable. Then this morning I called again, and all of a sudden they said I could come and get him. I'm so happy I've been bawling since 10 o'clock. My eyes look horrible, don't they? I wonder if Frank will notice. He hates for me to cry.
I don't think he'll notice.
After he's been drinking, little things bother him. Everything has to be just right. Do you know anything about alcoholics, Mr. Quick?
Not too much.
Sometimes he's the most wonderful person in the whole world. He can go 3, 4, 6 months without touching a drop. Place where he works, they're crazy about him. They ask him to come back. He promises to quit drinking. And he tries. Honest, he tries. I know he does.
How did he happen to go to this home?
There's this bar he goes to. Someone there told him about it. When he started to drink again, I called the home and asked for help. They said they could straighten him out in 5 days. It's been over a month now. Cost me $500 so far. But he's coming home now, so the money doesn't count.
May I come with you?
Well, I don't think that Frank would...
Well, not as a reporter, as a friend of the family. I have a car outside.
I don't know if Frank's funny sometimes.
In case anything happens. I'll wait outside.
Right, you're going home today, Frank? The wife will be in an hour. How do you feel, Frank?
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you how you feel. You feel great. You got the problem licked. Hold out your hands. How do you like that?
Did she say she wanted me back?
Sure she did. Listen, there aren't going to be any more fights between you and her. You're not going to walk out on your job
Cut that
anymore.
out, will you?
I just want you to know that we have full confidence in you. Charlie pressed your suit. Let's see, Charlie. You've got the problem licked, Mr. Collins. There's no question about it. Why, you can be in the same room with the stuff, and it won't make one bit of difference, right? It's no trouble for you because there ain't a single problem you can't lick, right? Get dressed, Frank.
You think he can stand another week?
Nobody asked you.
You keep him on the bottle, he... You know?
You just do your job. I'll worry about the patients.
Frank? Frank! Frank!
Get out of here, Vera.
I've come to take you home.
Get out of here, Vera, you hear me?
Frank, listen to me.
Get out of here, I mean it!
Frank! Frank! I got a clean shirt for you and your razor.
I like it here.
Frank, please, please listen to me. Just listen to me.
I paid for 2 weeks more. And I need a rest. I'm not going home with you.
You can have a rest at home. I want you home, Frank.
If you don't get out of here, I'll throw you
Frank,
out.
Frank! Listen! I am not leaving here without you. They're doing something to you here.
Sure, they're doing something to me. They're feeding me. They're taking care of me. They don't yell at me every time I take a drop.
I need you!
For what? To whine at me all the time, to take all the money I earn. You need me. Get out of here.
Frank!
Where did you get this, Mr. Collins?
I bought it from Charlie. You can take it away now. I don't want it anymore.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Collins. One of my nurses did this.
You did it. You did it.
Mrs. Collins,
You did it, and I'm gonna get him out of here. Frank. Frank, try to get up. Come on. Oh.
Now, you'd better go, Mrs. Collins. I'll talk to you downstairs.
Hey. Why don't you leave that?
Commissioner of Health, please. Hello, Walter. This is Paul. Paul Quick. Listen, can I get a man out of this rest home simply by calling an ambulance? That's all I have to do, huh? Yes, his wife is ready to sign any papers necessary. And they can't stop us, huh? Thank you very much, Walter. I'll get back to you later. We're getting him out right now, Mrs. Collins, so you stop worrying. One man, at least, is going to be saved from their cure. Then, after I got him home, I called the doctor. They were shooting him full of dope, chloral sulfate.
And do you think he'll talk to you?
I don't know. He was unconscious. I'm going over to see him this morning. What are you going to do about this, Walter?
I'll get all the facts, and then go to the DA's office and to the Bureau of Narcotics.
Well, that's a start, at least.
If you'd only get one of the nurses to talk, somebody who knows the inside of it.
I'm working on that. But if we can get Frank Collins to talk, that'll give us what we need to start right.
Get me out of this. Get me out of this place. I wanna go home.
Frank, you are home. It's all right. Huh? You're home. This is your house.
How'd I get here? Who's he?
I'm a reporter of the Columbus Citizen, Paul Quick.
I haven't got anything to talk about.
Frank.
What do you want to do? Get my name all over the newspapers or something? Is that it?
Mr. Collins, I haven't written anything about this yet.
What do you want to tell the whole world, that I'm a lush?
Oh, Frank.
I haven't got anything to talk about. I went to that place because I wanted to. They treated me fine. That's all I've got to say.
Mr. Collins, 5 men died in that home, and you were almost number 6. If nobody will talk, these things will go on.
What are you trying to do to me? Why did you call him?
Frank, he was the one who got you out of there. He got the ambulance, he got everything.
All you want is a story. You don't care if I lose my job? What are they going to say at the office? Did you tell them?
No, Frank, of
Did you
course-
call them up when I was away? What did you tell them?
Frank, I didn't tell him anything.
Yeah, but what date is it? I got a big order to fill by the 11th.
21st, Mr. Collins.
You're crazy. It can't be.
It is the 21st, Frank. You were there a month. The doctor said you were doped most of the time.
Don't let me out of this house until I'm straight. Promise me, Vera.
You know what's going on at Ellis Rest Home. Mr. Tanner, why don't you quit?
I like it there. He feeds me. Give me a place to sleep. Enough to drink.
I spoke with your former wife, Mr. Tanner.
You cheap, snooping, lousy.
And with both of your children.
Who asked you to snoop into my business? Don't you pull my kids in either.
Would you like to hear how they are?
No.
Okay. I don't think that all that's left of Charlie Tanner is a 2-ounce shot glass. Maybe you'll change your mind. Want another drink before I go?
Sure, but I won't ask you for it.
Miss Collins, this is Paul Quick. Can I come over tonight?
I've got to call you back, Mr. Quick.
I told you I don't want to talk to that guy. I don't want my name all over the papers.
Frank.
Look, what are our friends going to say? What are people like Eddie Warren going to say when they see his story?
Eddie and Fran haven't been here to see us for over a year.
Well, other people.
What other people?
Look! I'm not going to take a front page ad saying I was in a place like that.
You are not the only one who's involved now.
Oh, now listen, Vera, let's take a trip for a couple of weeks, huh? I mean, there's still a few bucks left in the bank.
No, Frank.
Oh, remember that place on the Cape near Truro? What was its name?
Frank, I want you to talk to Mr. Quick.
Come on, Vera, we'll fly to Boston.
No, Frank. You can't brush this under the rug. It happened. You've got to look at it.
All right, it happened. Now it's over.
It's not over. That home is still open. That man is going to ruin other people.
It's none of my business.
It is your business. For once in your life, you've got to be responsible for something.
Who says?
Frank, if you don't do this one decent act, I'm not going to live here anymore.
Vera.
I mean it. He's gone, Mr. Quick, and it's my fault. We had a terrible argument, and afterwards I went out, and when I came back, he was gone. Please help me find him, Mr. Quick, please.
Your wife is worried about you. Can I call her and tell her you're on your way home?
No, you can't. I'm not ready to go home yet.
She's very upset.
I figured she would be. But I've got something I have to work out. Want a drink?
No, thanks.
I do. I want this drink. I haven't had it. I haven't had it since 10 o'clock. Guys at this bar know me. They can't figure it out. Bourbon. Full 2-ounce shot. And I know how good it tastes. You drink?
Sure, when I want to.
I do when I want to and when I don't want to. Except while I'm figuring this out. See, it's like this. I could take this from here to here and drink it. Or else talk to you.
I'm ready to listen.
Sure you are. It's a good story.
Not only for the story.
What else? You mean tell me you get worked up over a couple of lushes who drink themselves to death?
I am.
Why?
I don't know.
Neither do I. They're not worth the trouble. None of us are.
That isn't what your wife thinks.
Maybe not, but that's what I think. Why don't I drink this? What's so great about not taking this?
You're not going to take it.
Sure I am.
No, you won't. You've already figured it out. You know you've got everything to lose. You're on your way to beating that.
Suppose I don't want to be on my way.
Maybe you don't.
Charlie. I'm gonna talk to him.
Well, it's up to you.
How about you, Mr. Tanner?
I'll listen.
Okay. You listen. Gus? Make it a cup of coffee, will you? Regular.
Make it 2 cups of coffee, Gus. 1 black.
The story that Paul Quick exploded on the front page of the Columbus Citizen stirred up every agency of the city into action against the so-called rest home. Its operator was tried and convicted for violating the narcotics laws and sentenced to 5 years in prison. 3 other illegal sanitariums were closed as a result of Paul Quick's campaign. The Columbus Citizen and one of its fine reporters had met their deadline.